You know how to market your business in 2022? Digital marketing or marketing online is actually in a constant transformational state. It's constantly changing, it's constantly updating, especially with the way technology is going and how fast technology is improving. So, a lot of the digital strategies that might have worked last year or the year before might not actually cut it in 2022. Today, I'm going to be discussing the top 5 marketing trends for 2022 that you can adopt to grow your business. Hi everyone, it's Leanne Cohens here, Digital Success Catalyst and owner of the marketing agency, Marketing Lead. Today we're going to be talking about 5 trends that you can actually keep in mind and look at applying to your business. Because whether you like it or not, digital marketing is here to stay. But our demographic is constantly changing every year as our audience either grows up or it gets older. So we're going to go through the 5 trends that are being predicted to be the big thing for this year. And the first thing is influencer marketing. Now, this is actually going to become a common marketing tactic, especially as a lot of the platforms are gearing towards helping creators make more money when they show up online. At the moment, about 50% of marketing professionals are actually looking at influencer marketing as their top choice when it comes to marketing. It's actually set to become a $15 billion industry this year, and a lot of agencies are actually looking at putting budgets into that. So one of the things that you really do need to keep in mind is that rather than going for the big influencers, you need to look at what they call micro influencers. So these are people that have, over 1,000 followers or between 1,000 and 10,000. And one of the things that you really need to keep an eye on is the engagement with their audience, because there's so many platforms out there that you can buy followers, or it's quite easy to, well, not quite easy, but there are ways that you can actually grow your following. But if their audience isn't engaged, then you're actually throwing your money away. So if this is something that you're going to look at, you need to find influencers or micro influencers or niche influencers that have the same target audience that you do and the same demographic that you do, and then have a look at the engagement that they have, which is the feedback, the comments, the likes, the shares that they have with their audience, because this will actually help you with your brand awareness and actually gain more fans and more followers from their audience as well. And it's not a case of just picking 1 or 2. It's a good idea to have a look at an entire network of small, relevant niche influencers, because again, they're the ones that are building the relationship and have the relationships with their clients. So have a look at, what the engagement is there. The second trend to look at is short form video content. Again, we have the attention span of less than a goldfish now. The more that we're online, the more that we're constantly being engaged, we need to be entertained. So our attention spans are shortening. Creating short form content is a really great way to go this year, because it actually helps with engagement, it actually helps with performance, and especially with the likes of TikTok. And TikTok is actually blowing up. It's gone from being, this particular platform where you get on there and do silly dances. They've actually launched a number of really useful tools. So they've created ads, they've created business profiles, and they're really starting to target businesses now. All in all, it really is a great platform, especially if you're looking at reaching out to millennials and the Gen Z. And if you're not too sure what they are, I've done a video on the different demographics and the different age groups. If that's your demographic, then TikTok is the way to go, because they are starting to focus a lot more on businesses and on brands. But regardless of what social media platform you use, short form video really is an innovative way to engage your audience and actually set you apart from your competition. So if you're not too sure what to do short form video on, you could look at behind the scenes of your business. You can look at user generated content, so people that follow you that do something if you have a brand or a product, educational videos and tutorials, which are huge. The third trend is mobile optimization, and this really has to be prioritized, especially if you have a website and you are doing things online, because 90% of all internet users actually have mobile access, and people are spending a lot more time on their mobile devices, and they're actually using their mobile devices pretty much for everything these days. And especially as, again, the millennials and the Gen Z are getting older, that's what they know. This is what they understand. Looking at your mobile experience. So have a look at your website on your phone. Let's see how it performs and see where it needs to be tweaked. And in actual fact, one of the things that we've actually done in Marketing Leap is we've, over the last 2 or 3 months, been changing a lot of websites over, and recently a couple of really big e-commerce sites, purely because the customer experience was actually starting to impact on their sales, and it was actually starting to impact on people spending time on their website. So it's something that is really, really important that you need to look at. So get on your phone and just see how your website performs on your mobile phone. The fourth trend is going to be permanent social media posts over ephemeral content. Now, the reason that you look at those, so ephemeral content is basically your stories. These are, the ones that they go up for 24 hours and then they disappear. The reason that you do need to look at permanent social media posts as well is, again, it's very arrogant to assume that people are going to be following you 24/7 unless you're one of the Kardashians or you're an actor or, someone technically famous. It's great for engagement. In actual fact, about 20% of stories actually have direct interaction. So people will comment, they'll like, they'll interact with that particular story. But when people start following you, if you do not have some permanent content on there, that when they go to see what it is that you do and what it is that you're about, you've got to have something of substance for them to see what you do. So having a really good mix between stories and ephemeral content and permanent social media posts is really important. And then the fifth trend is podcasting. So people have become so much more used to having audio as they're walking, as they're training, as they're driving, listening to podcasts when they're driving rather than the radio. So looking into podcasting is a really good thing for your business, especially if you're in the educational or the entertainment side of things. Facebook, Netflix, and YouTube are all predicted to move strongly into podcasting. One of the things that Facebook's actually doing, and I'll show you how you can do this, is actually linking your podcast in your Facebook page. If you have a business page in Facebook, then what you can do is, if you actually go into your manage page, and you can see here, you've got your manage page. When you actually scroll down, you'll see there's an option there for podcasts. So if you have a podcast, you're looking at starting one, this is something that is highly recommended. Actually linking your podcast in your Facebook page, because it actually then starts increasing your reach and showing your ideal clients that you do have some idea of what you're talking about and you are an expert in your field. So, and the fact that Netflix and YouTube and Facebook are all looking at this is something, as a business owner, if you're not comfortable being on video, this could be another way around it. If you're not sure as far as creating content, doing a video and then making sure you've got the high quality audio as well to use is another way of doing it. In actual fact, 74% of businesses actually did a recent survey with Hootsuite, which is a social media planning platform, and they've actually said that they're planning to invest in audio only content in 2022. So it is a great thing to think about, especially if you're not comfortable showing up on screen. But again, it has to be high quality content. So making sure that you actually have the right tools so that you don't have background noise, you don't have reverb or anything like that, and making sure that it is high quality. They're the top 5 trends, so we'll just run through those again quickly. So they are influencer marketing and concentrating on micro niche influencers, short form video content because we don't have the attention span, prioritizing mobile optimization, 50% of what we do on our smartphones, and then making sure that you do have permanent social media posts, not just the ephemeral or the stories and the stuff that only lasts 24 hours. And then finally looking at podcasting. Another thing that you do really need to keep in mind in 2022 is social responsibility. So again, the millennials and the Gen Zs are the ones that are coming through. These are the generations that have the money to spend. They're very interested in personal growth and personal development. 9 times out of 10, they might not have started their family yet. So they've got a lot more free money to spend. But social responsibility has become a really big thing for them. And it's so much more important to them than it is to the Gen X or the baby boomers, because they're growing up in an online space. They're used to everything being online. They're looking at things like climate change, unfair labor practices, and inequality. As a business owner, one of the things that you really do need to keep an eye on is making sure that if you do have some kind of a social responsibility, or you do have some kind of a plan in place, you promote that. Because like I said, the generations are actually getting older, and these young ones that are coming through are the ones that actually have the money. There are the 5 trends for you to look at when it comes to marketing your business online for 2022, and check them out. And like everything, and like I always say, you don't need to be everywhere. You just need to be where your ideal clients are. But check these 5 trends out, and if they work for you and they work for your business and it helps you connect with your ideal audience, go for it. And if you're not too sure exactly where you should be or how you are showing up online, I have an entire page of marketing resources that you can go in and download for free, from checklists on how to set your social media up properly to strategy, branding, and even to find out exactly where your ideal clients are hanging out online. And then finally, for January, I do have my marketing audits special still running, which is normally $1,497, and you get a complete marketing audit that tells you exactly where you're showing up online, and gives you some idea of and some steps on how to improve your online presence. And that's across the board, with your branding, your website, your SEO, your messaging, and even with all your different social media platforms. So if you're curious about that, I'll put the link below, and you can jump on a call and we can have a chat. But in the meantime, guys, have an amazing week, and I will see you again next week. Bye for now. You need to take control of your online presence and attract more leads and grow your business. If you're not sure how the digital space works and how you should be showing up online, then make sure that you hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to click the bell, because that way you actually do get notified rather than just subscribing. You can stay up to date with all the latest trends and changes and get some understanding and learn how to actually grow your business online.